Hey, what is going on? What is going on? We about to start here pretty soon. Get into this bull drive, man. Man, look, don't laugh at me, man. My fire alarm's been going off all day. We're gonna change it out. Gonna change them out today. Gotta get the battery charged. Get some new batteries. But anyway, look, I'm gonna jump it right into it because I'm super highly upset, man. Like today might be the day that I might decide to move from El Paso. It's crazy, bro. Like today, this whole week has been like, man, just I've been on one. I've been on one. All right. So today we had our District 5 meeting with a side of Socorro Independent School District Proposition A. It's called VAT vote, voter support. What, what does VAT mean? I forgot what it said. Anyway, it's Proposition A. If you don't know, if you're in the SISD area, over here where I live at, apparently there's this thing called Proposition A vote. I didn't know what it was. Of course, I went to ChatGPT. That's my friend, man. We talk like we're best friends at this point. But so I got a understanding of it. But now I got a high level understanding of this nonsense. So simply what's happening is the tax rate will be adjusted and will be raised. What they're trying to say is that it's not. Well, first off, let me read this. Because I'm going to go on a tangent. I already see because I'm kind of upset already. So let me go ahead and tell you. So the Socorro Independent School District is urging voters to support Proposition A in the upcoming November election. Proposition A would generate $49 million in additional revenue annually without increasing taxes. Superintendent James Vasquez explained that while the ballot will indicate a tax increase, the district plans to adjust the tax rates to maintain the current rate of $1.05. There will be no impact to the taxpayer in our district, Vasquez said, noting that 2/3 of the revenue would come from the state. The funds are intended to address various needs, including upgrading aging systems and student laptops. Vasquez highlighted the importance of these upgrades, citing issues such as hot classrooms during the summer. We be investing money year after year to begin upgrading some of our aging systems across the district. Now, listen, I'm gonna give you some pretext because you guys know I'm not from El Paso, and I know I'm gonna get some people in there and say you're not from El Paso, you didn't go to none of the schools and blah 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 blah. I know I'm gonna hear it, but listen, my kids go to these schools. They've been in these schools since, man, since pre-K. They've gone at every level. They've been in these classrooms. I've paid my taxes. Look, as much as you don't want to say, anyone that comes here from the military, they call this place home. I call this place home. And so this is extremely frustrating to me to understand this. But let me tell you, not only from my childhood, I can't go back to none of my schools because I think all schools across the country is facing the same dilemma. They're all facing this because no one wants to take accountability of what is going on. So listen, my elementary doesn't exist anymore. My high school just closed down. Don't even have my high school anymore. And I'm finna have my 20-year anniversary of being out of high school next year. My middle school has been renamed. Even in the military, my MOS that I was in ceased to exist. And also the base that I was at, that name has changed. The barracks that I was in don't even exist anymore. So, I don't want to be on a soapbox, but just understand that things are meant to change and evolve, and you have to go with the times. You just have to go with the times. At this point, we are neglecting the fact that we just need to close schools down. So listen, I'm going to read it one more time for you guys, and I'm going to tell you the questions that I asked the superintendent in person to his face with everyone there. I was just amazed that no one's asking these questions, because this is crazy to me. The Socorro Independent School District urging voters to support Proposition A in the upcoming November election. This is so Proposition A is for the state to give our school district more money. That's literally what it is. They're trying to get money from the state. Proposition A would generate $49 million in additional revenue annually without increasing taxes. Now they say addition. This is crazy because this is news. This is news. This is the news. This is the news putting this up, right? It's like no investigative journalism. There's no challenge of anything. We just write things. We just don't even like think about it from anybody else's perspective. Just write what we're told. So Proposition A would generate $49 million in additional revenue annually without increasing taxes. Now we say additional, like addition to what? They're losing money. Year over year, they're losing money. So what's an addition to? Okay, so that's one where we gotta be profitable before we can add an addition to something. And Superintendent James Vasquez explained that while the ballot will indicate a tax increase, the district plans to adjust the tax rates to maintain the current rate of $1.05. So there's two buckets. Hey, go to the truck and get my my notebook, and there's a paper with it as well. Hurry up. So there's two buckets of how the school district breaks up their money. One's for operating costs, and another one is for something else. But I'll figure the paperwork right now. So there's two buckets that the school district deals with, but for us, we only get one tax rate. It equals our tax rate. Our tax rate is currently $1.05. They want to go ahead and send it up to, I don't know. They wanted to raise it up to a little bit higher, right? They want to raise it up a little higher. And like I said, they're going to offset that cost with the state. So then it's going to look like there's no additional increase. Now, mind you, who controls the state? Who can tell the state, hey, you got to honor this deal from here on out? From here on out, and I asked the superintendent this, like, can you guarantee us if we vote for this Proposition A, are you telling me that they will continue to offset the cost moving forward? Because $49 million sounds like a lot of money. And the way the federal government is going right now, everything's being cut, everything's being looked at. And you want to tell me with a straight face that you know for a fact you can see the future and what's going to happen. There's a piece of paper with it, man. No, I got it. So let me see those two buckets. So there's a bucket called M&O and INS. M&O and INS. M&O, INS. What is that? M&O, INS. Man, I thought I wrote that down. ChatGPT. This made me mad. I can't even think right now, man. How is this? What is it called? Okay, so one is called the Maintenance and Operation Fund, right? So you got the M&O, that's your day-to-day operations, and you have what's called INS, Interest in Sinking. So that's your debt service fund. That's the second part. So that's how your rates breaking into. So you pay your tax rate, that money gets into the school district. They place that money into two different buckets. So that's basically what it is. But what they're saying is the M&O will be an increase basically for us from the taxpayers, and then INS will be from the state. So it's supposed to offset each other. But the only way this works is if they can tell me and rest assured, and they know for a fact that this will always stay the same. Like, is it going to be fix is it's a constant like let's just let me know. What else did I ask him? So the other thing that I asked him. So the funds are intended to address various needs, including upgrading aging systems and student laptops. So $49 million is supposed to help fix various needs. And so this comes with what he said, a study. It's supposed to be a study done so you can get an assessment of what's going on with the schools. Now, we don't know what that's going to cost to break down and go and create an inspection for this, to figure out what the costs are, what are the needs. Facility testing or facility inspection, something like that. But anyway, that's what's going to be done. That's what's going to be done, and that's what's annoying me. That's what's pissing me off. You're basically telling me that you're going to raise the property tax rate for your guys' bucket. Like I said, in the state of Texas, our taxes are already crazy high. In the city of El Paso, everything I feel like is being increased over and over and over again, and mistakes continuously happen. Like not even like baby mistakes, not even like simple mistakes, sir. These are huge issues, man. Huge issues when it comes to budgeting, when it comes to the state. I mean, when it comes to the city, when it comes to the county, there's issues with the money, and you see it time and time again. You look at your water bill, you look at your gas bill, you look at your electric bill, the exact same thing. You see everybody's raising fees. There's a fee on top of a fee on top of a fee. We just got back and just got over the fact that the city was talking about raising our tax rate, but they said they didn't raise the tax rate. But you know what did get raised is our property value. Property value got raised. So, of course, we're paying more in taxes regardless. Now we're talking about this. Don't know where this $49 million is going to go. It could be wasted regardless because we don't know what schools need to be open and what needs to stay. I'm asking the question about, because he kept saying we're on a decline, we're on a decline. Student enrollment is on a decline. That's another conversation right there. We need to stop and just think about this. How many upset parents there has been? How many people are frustrated with the school corporation system that they, you know what? It's called choice. People are going to charter schools, going to private schools, and they are homeschooling their kids, as well as how the superintendent wants to say, well, you know, there's a decline in the birth rates on top of this problem. So we just need to stop the bleeding. And that's what I asked him. I said, how do we stop the bleeding? What is the answer? Because when I look around, I don't see you saying anything about stopping the bleeding. All I see is that the answer is to come to the taxpayer who are already going through a government shutdown, who's already dealing with, just trying to live at this point, bro. Just trying to live is stressful enough, and y'all keep coming to the taxpayer. There's HOAs out here now. There are MUDs out here. There are PIDs out here. Developers are doing what they want to do. The school corporations doing what they want to do. The city's doing what they want to do. The county's doing what they want to do. Everybody needs more money. Where's the income coming at, man? Where's the revenue? What are we doing to figure this out? Because right now it is a shit show. It is a shit show. It is a shit show. I try to keep my composure in there, man. I really did, but I was extremely frustrated. Don't keep highlighting that. Don't highlight just all the good stuff, because if all the good stuff was what it was, you wouldn't be asking for more money. You wouldn't be asking for more money. Now, this is what's crazy, because it says it here. If the proposition fails, the district may face financial strain, potentially impact student programs. What I was being told in this meeting is if they didn't pull out this, I think they pulled out $50 million last year. If they didn't pull out that $50 million, they couldn't make payroll. couldn't make payroll. Now, my real question is, how much debt is the school in total? Let's see if we can find out. Let's see if we can see the financials. We should be able to see it if I can find it quick enough. I know I got you guys on here now, but fraud, waste, and abuse, board of trustees, translate schools, community staff, parents, departments. These are departments about us. I'm not gonna be able to find it, but I'm gonna do some research, man. What I'm saying ultimately is, at the end of the day, it sounds like what do we investing all this money into when there's a decline? El Paso, to me, look like it's growing. There's houses being built throughout, and it's continuously going. Construction hasn't stopped, but yet I'm being told everything's on decline. I'm being told that we need more money, and I'm not being told we're closing schools down. I'm not being told that the SAC that they have over there that's empty for almost 9 months out of the year, that I believe didn't need to be built. It's nice. It is nice, but it doesn't produce any money. To me, it doesn't produce any money, but I need to find that out, man. I need to get the real numbers for you guys, because in my opinion, it doesn't. Nothing's moving the needle. Nothing is moving the needle at this point. Nothing's moving the needle. So I'm on the website. Let me show you guys this one. Share this tab. Okay. So on here, let's read it. In early 2024, the district faced a $42 million budget deficit. Now, mind you, they took out $50 million, so that should have wiped this out. Should have wiped it out. It should have some money left over. $8 million left over. He told me that they have $1 million in interest, $1.5 million they had to pay in interest. So I don't know if they got the money or not, because he wasn't really transparent with that. I didn't really hear that part. Through reductions to programs, services, and staffing, the district achieved a balanced budget for 2025-2026. While balancing the budget was important, the district fund balance and cash position remained low. So this is what we talked about as well. So it's a requirement, a policy from the state that requires that SISD must have 75 days of cash reserve. You can say 75 days. 75 days of reserve. Right now, I believe they have 17 days. 17 days of cash reserve. Which that's a red flag right there, man. So yeah, they have 17 days cash on hand. So if everything was to close down, they could survive for 17 days. Man, that sounds horrible right there in itself. Costs for service continue to rise due to inflation. Student enrollment is declining, and state funding has not kept pace with the actual cost of education. These factors impact the district's ability to fund academic programs, extracurricular activities, and staffing levels, which is, once again, is crazy because it says it right here. Student enrollment is declining. Like, that's the biggest piece. They get paid per student. I think right now he said we get paid almost $14,000 per student compared to some other school districts that are getting 17, which I don't know if that's, I'm going off what he's saying. That right there is a concern. So if this is a problem and state funding has not kept pace, that's a problem. But somehow we're going to continue to take out loans, and then we're going to ask the taxpayers, let's just raise their rate. Let's get the money from them. Or let's raise it, offset it, hope that it doesn't fail, and we could kind of clean this up through the state. But someone has to be paying this money to the state. Where's the state getting its money from? From the federal government. Again, from the federal government, And the way things are going, I just don't see it, bro. I just don't see it. The way things are going, man. So interim superintendent, well, he's not interim anymore. He's Superintendent James Vasquez led the district over the last 18 months and was recently selected to serve as the next permanent superintendent of Socorro ISD. He is a local, homegrown educator, which once again, I have my bias on this. I think this might be the reason why they're reluctant to close these schools down, because they're homegrown, they're local, and I get it. Everybody loves their school. I get it, but at what cost, man? At what cost when everybody's maxed out, bro? Everyone's maxed out. You want people to come here. You want people to travel here. You want people to visit, stay, live. We got to stop the bleeding and stop putting this money towards the taxpayers, bro. A leader with deep ties to Socorro SISD schools. So that concerns me too, man. Like, dude, is it that deep that you're not willing to let it go, or you don't want it to happen under your administration? Or are you really going to think about it? To involve and engage the community in district financial planning, the board and superintendent convened the Finance and Operation Advisory Committee, FOAC, a diverse group of parents, staff, and community members. They reviewed district finances, identified long-term solutions. I didn't hear none of those long-term solutions. None of them. Didn't even just, and that's the thing I don't like about these meetings. When they ramble, they talk, and it's really not getting into the specifics, bro. Like, if you're gonna talk like that, then maybe you send this out to us first, or send us some financials, or send us something prior to the meeting, and then we can at least be read up on it, or maybe that's what I need to do prior to going to the meeting. I don't know. The FOAC recommended the district pursue a voter approved tax rate election. Now, this is the reason why they're going out district to district, location. They're trying to market it. They're trying to get on the news and all these different platforms so they can let people know that the wording when you go out to vote is going to say that your property tax rate will be raised. And that's the way the state wants it, and they're not changing it. Why are they adamant that they're going to change it? Because it's probably not guaranteed that it's going to stay this way. If they're not willing to change the verbiage, then that concerns me right there, and telling me this may not be a fixed cost. This may be 1, 2, 3 years where they cover the expenses, they offset it, yes. And then, the new administration come in and they say, oh, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So you can read the full FOAC report here. Oh, there we go. Let's see what the finances are. Budget history, financial challenges, revenue options, recommendations, FOAC financial recommendations. Let's see what they say. So projected enrollment. Right now, look at this. Look at it. Look at it dwindling down. So the 12th graders, 3,600, 3,500, back to 3,600, 3,300, 3,300, 3,200, 3,100 students, 3,200 students. Like, it's going down. No, let's not even look at that. We can look at the total. So it goes from 43,000 down to 42,766, 42,050, 41,442. Like, it's going down, bro. That's crazy. So it's low district rock. Projected enrollment is low, and you can see it, but yet we want to keep schools open. How is it not identified that schools need to be closed? You need to consolidate. So enrollment in average daily attendance. So 2025 is 42,756 students. 42,000 is supposed to be 46,672. What was previously projected for next year was supposed to be 49,000. It's going to be 41,000 next year. Bro, what are we doing? School cost of inflation. So everything's going up in expenses. I see nothing negative on this. Let me see if I can show you guys. So I can share this tab. It's the next tab, right? This right here made no sense to me. It was weird the way he was saying it. the gold penny versus the copper penny and all this crazy stuff. But potential impact gold pennies. One gold penny equals $6.2 million state, $1.5 million come local, and then it's going to be a total of 7.7 million. Right? 3 of the 8 are only accessible with voter approval. Other factors impact potential gain. Local property wealth, which property values are going up. TEA calculated the tax effort, not subject to recapture. And then they have this thing called copper pennies. Copper penny equals $1.4 million state, 1.5 local, 2.9 million. 9 pennies accessible with, of course, voter approval. So that's the issue. So we're capped right now on our rate. And this is the reason why they have to have this vote, because it has to be approved by the voters. So the superintendent can't raise the tax rate. The board can't raise the tax rate. It has to be approved by the voters. And I hope these voters come out and they know what they're doing, bro. I really hope they know what they're doing. So once again, this voter is a special election that allows the district to increase its tax rate through voter approval. That's all you need to know. If a school district adopts an M&O tax rate that exceeds the maximum rate allowed by the state law, it must hold a VATRE to obtain voter approval before the higher rate can take effect. And now who controls this is the board. I was told that today. So, the superintendent is just doing the day-to-day and everything else, but the board is the one who controls this money. In the past, SISD has not pursued a VATRE because the district's steady enrollment increased. How is that true? Property value growth, investment and development within district boundaries, the community sensitivity to tax increases. Now circumstances have changed, including enrollment declines since 2023. Stagnant state funding, M&O tax rate compression, inflation impact. So all these things, these are all key points, right? So where we at? Homeowner impact, no change in tax return. I don't even understand this here. Average home value is $243,500. That I don't believe that is right. I don't know what zip codes this is coming from, because let me look. I think I know my zip code. I'm not sure. I'm gonna at least do my zip code, our zip code. Here we go. I'm just gonna do the east side, because that's where I'm on. I'm on the east. No, it's about right. Okay, so it says the median sales price is $274,995. Days on market in the area is 22 days on market. List price received 99%. So no, this is about it. However, that's not my property value. I mean, they're going off of market sales, median sales price. Where we at? So the average home value. Yeah, that's. I guess I'm not going to argue with that. We're actually saving money at this point, I guess, because my property value is way more than this. But they're saying it's the average in the area, but I don't believe that. So let's see. FOAC final recommendation. Employee health program. Conduct a thorough review of the district. See, he didn't even talk about this. And I knew this should have been something we talked about, because the school corporation takes on a brunt of paying for the teachers' health care insurance. It's getting more and more expensive, and the claims are getting more and more expensive. And this is going to get out of hand, which that's a whole nother conversation. So this is the recommendation. Employee health program. Conduct a thorough review of the district health care fund and implement corrective actions to ensure its financial balance and self-sustaining. Like, how do we do that? The only way to do self-sustaining is put it all on the teachers. School building utilization and maintenance. Conduct a comprehensive study of building utilization and maintenance needs, particularly as enrollment declines and building systems approach end of life. The goal is to proactively develop plans for boundary adjustments, potential school consolidations. Okay, so what I was saying wasn't far off. They looked at me like I was saying something wrong. And long-term infrastructure improvements across the district. VATRE pursues a voter-approved tax rate election to unlock additional state funding and maximize district revenue opportunities. Pursuing a VATRE election, the committee strongly recommends pursuing this at the full allowable 0.12, which would generate approximately 49. Now, see, this may be the issue too. To make me believe something, how about we just raise this 0.5? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we have to go to full max out? You know what I'm saying? Especially with the prior administration that was here. There's a loss of the trust isn't there right now, man. It's just not there. There was a lot of shady stuff going on. Not this board, not this superintendent, but prior to, there's a lot of drama. And for you to come over here for the first time and ask, it's just too much, bro. Just because something's allowed don't mean you should do it. It's just the optics of how things look. And I know they should understand that. FOAC member feedback. I actually enjoyed the initial meeting. Food was good, everyone was cordial, and the information was present clearly and effectively. I appreciate the ability to ask questions and provide input throughout the presentation. I appreciate the graphics. They allow me to better understand the information. I enjoyed learning about how the district is funded. Generally, I knew where funding came from, but appreciated the in-depth coverage. The transparency of all the struggles and budgets was very informative. The information presented today was definitely enlightening to me. I really appreciate the financial transparency tonight. That's what the FOAC member feedback was. That was a committee that came up with this to say, hey, we need to vote on this, and we need to make this happen. Now, this is the funding priorities. The committee agreed to recommend the two primary items: rebuilding the fund balance and the aforementioned all in for the people of Team SISD items. Rebuild the fund balance, rebuilds SISD fund balance over a 3 to 5 year period to ensure long-term financial stability, reduce dependency on one-time funding and restore financial flexibility, employee health care and compensation, address the $20 million health care shortfall. Like, bro, it says it right here. We got to address a $20 million healthcare shortfall and implement a comprehensive strategy to recruit, retrain, and support district employees, ensuring competitive pay and benefits. I'm confused by that statement because he told me they're not hiring. They can't hire. How's that going to happen? Technology, infrastructure, and devices. Restore the district one-to-one student device model. So this is the thing that happened this school year. You guys don't have laptops this year, huh?
Yes, sir.
So no laptops this school year. And guess what these kids got to do? Old-fashioned writing. I'm so glad we helped our kids write over the summer because I knew the handwriting was a problem. They didn't know how to write cursive. let alone just how to write legibly. This right here was a dependency, man. Like this is a luxury to have a laptop, and I do agree students should have laptops in school. But it doesn't have to be a one-to-one service model where, go back to computer labs, man. Go back to when they need to utilize it. But you don't need it for every student to take home and do this and that. And then you guys are giving them away. They stay with the school so long. You don't have a real cycle program where, this part here is confusing me. Now, I need to understand more of this. Building utilization and maintenance. Fund a building utilization study to explore a possible boundary redesign and or consolidate. Now, this is only going to happen after they get the money. Redesign and or consolidate of the schools. Invest in deferred maintenance, prioritizing maintenance of aging facilities, and support critical and emergency needs such as HVAC repairs, student programs, safeguard and support academic and extracurricular activities, including career and technical. And I think this is important. This definitely is important, including because college isn't for everybody. You got to have those options, bro. You got to have those options. But once again, I don't understand why the cost is so high when it comes to these programs, And I think there's a chance there's an opportunity to use AI in this situation. I believe, me personally, like, how can we not just get, I'll keep that for later. All right. And the next thing is discretionary funds for board approved needs. Establish a reserve fund for discretionary needs. Allow the district to respond to emerging priorities or unexpected challenges as they arise, ensuring flexibility. See, why are we even worrying about this? You don't need no discretionary funds. You guys need to maintain. But see, that wasn't spoken about. Conclusion. The Facilities and Operation Advisory Committee strongly believes that the future of SISD depends on investing in our people, our infrastructure, and our students. One thing that concerns me every year is these teachers work more with less. They get the shit end of the stick. They don't get a raise. They have, mind you, last year I walked in my kids' class and I did it from first period. I did all the periods plus lunch, plus I did recess. I did the whole thing. And let me tell you, those teachers look burnt out. They look overwhelmed. It's too much. You got substitutes that are for sure overwhelmed. There's a math teacher that I know from my student last year. Her classes it's broken into two different parts. And then she's supposed to have a teacher assistant who leaves on the second half of the class. So she only has them for the first half, which she really don't need them for the first half. She really needs them for the second half. But they have to work more or less. They have to get the students involved as leaders in the classroom, which I don't think that's the best thing, bang for your buck. You don't want to know that your kid's being taught by another kid who's learning the same situation. I mean, yeah, they could be catching on, but then what if they're teaching them bad habits? They're not learning from the subject matter expert, which is the teacher. These class sizes are too large, and nothing here is saying anything different. This is it. This is it. This is it, bro. Budget history and financial challenges. So we ain't gonna go into all of this, but it was a lot of projected $42 million deficit. Tia conservative appointment. Mr. Vasquez named interim superintendent, because right now TEA, they're under an advisement role basically of the school district. They're not mentors, but what did he call them? They're in like an advisory capacity, but TEA then controls the school, and they're going to control the school. We can't figure this out, and that's basically what it is. It's either we keep up with the budget, keep it all this stuff, or the board we have now dissolves. The superintendent position gets erased, and then the TEA, the state, comes in and they replace everybody, and then they're going to replace the superintendent with who they want. I mean, at this point, I think there was another school district facing the same situation. I think it's to a point that it's going to end up happening, man, because I think they just spiraled out of control, And like I said, I'm not saying anything bad about this administration, because I think they're trying. They're trying to face the facts of this thing, but I think it's too far gone. I think it's too far gone, and I think people are already tired of getting charged. But anyway, man, that's 41 minutes. I don't want to go too deep. I don't want to go too long. But the gist of this thing, man, is I went to the District 5 meeting to hear what was going to be said, because I knew it was going to be something. And I feel like I'm not going to say I think that when you present something, you have to present the facts, which they did. They were honest at the very beginning in the history of what got them to this point. However, when it comes to understanding that this is not an easy thing to request, why max it out at the 0.12% rate when you could have did 0.5 or 0.6 and said, hey, look, we could have maxed it out, but because of all of the history and past drama, and also including the drama with your overall property taxes with the city and the county, because the county raised it too, and now they're raising it. It's like everybody is raising their rate. It's hurting a lot of people, bro. So I feel for people, man. I literally told my wife, we have to do a budget, because we've been slacking. I'm being honest. We have been slacking on our budget. We have been spending money like we just got an endless supply, and we don't. So we have to be conscious of this. And I think everyone has to be conscious of this. Every organization, every entity, everybody needs to be conscious of what they're spending. I mean, if you're a millionaire, billionaire, of course you're being conscious because you got that to that point. Everyone else has to be conscious of that as well. And to just blindly believe everything and everybody has our best interest is crazy. There's no way. You can say what you want to say. You could be around people, but the damage has been done, bro. The timing is wrong. The optics are bad. So me personally, as an individual, I bet you I don't vote for this. I don't support this. And when I asked those questions to the superintendent, I felt like he was giving me a runaround. I didn't want to press him about it, but I the energy I was getting was, this is all you guys are going to get. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. If you want to say what the problem really is, the problem is, one, like you said, the declining amount of students. There's a lot of options out now. You have the charter schools, you have private schools, you have home schools, and you need to ask the fact of why people are choosing those other options over you. You know why? People are tired of the way you guys are teaching students. They're tired of not knowing what's going on. You guys act like y'all know what's best for us as parents. Y'all want to do what y'all want to do. This is a problem. And so that's how we voice our opinion. Like, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear no acknowledgement of maybe the parents are feeling some sort of way. Maybe we should go out to the community and figure out why kids are being removed from the schools. Hey, I get the birth rate, but the birth rate hasn't, man, these schools are packed, nut to butt, bro. I've been to these schools. They are packed. So I would challenge everybody before you vote on this, go to the front. I even said this when I was there. I even said this when I was there, man. And I said I would challenge everybody in this room to go sit in the classroom from the morning to night. Go back to 5th grade again. Go back to 6th grade again. And then you tell me, is this the 6th grade you remember? You tell me that I don't remember having 25 kids in my class. I don't remember dealing with the nonsense these kids are dealing with. I don't remember. So before you just say yes to something, understand that. And shame on people for just saying, oh, the rate's going up, but it's really not going up. Don't play word games, man. It's going up for a reason. And they're not changing language for a reason. And don't say I told you so when it happens. And we end up finding out that, hey, we can cover you guys for a year. We can offset it for a year. But now you guys are going to have to pay the full 0.12% that somebody proposed. That's crazy to me, bro. It's just crazy to me. And unless you could tell me for a fact, I just don't see how this makes sense. I just don't see how this makes sense. Because anyway, I just don't see how it makes sense. But I would love to hear your comments. I would love to hear your opinion on it. I know it's all over the place, but like I said, my thoughts on this is simply we're trying to get in front of the language. We're trying to get in front of the language for a reason of what's being said, because when you go to that voting booth, it's going to sit there and tell you you're voting for a tax rate, and you should just look at it like that. And you should ask yourself, if I'm going to vote for it, why am I voting for it? What's the need for it? They're getting $40-something million. What are they going to do with it? Because let me tell you, they just took $50 million out last year just to make payroll. That's, bro, you got to ask yourself. That SAC just got built. Schools just got built. They just bought it. They've done everything but give pay raises. I don't see any pay raises. Not to mention what they're talking about with the healthcare, like with the health insurance. I'm gonna tell you how that's gonna play out. They're gonna have to pass the burden to the teachers, and then all those smiling faces are gonna go away. I really want to hear what the teachers think about this. If the teachers believe in it, then I'll believe in it. Let me see the teachers say something. It's easy for the $200,000 man to say something, but let me see the teachers, the day-to-day teachers, come up and speak about this. That's all, I guess that's all I can say about it, because like I said, man, me personally, at 36 years old, I don't have an elementary school I can go back to. I don't have a high school I can go back to. And, you got to understand that, your city comes first. Your citizens come first. Those adults, those parents, those taxpayers come first. The students can still have a great education. Just consolidate the schools. You're going to have to, bring the teachers together, have 2 teachers in one room, 3 teachers in one room. I don't know, but you have to get creative with this. You have to get creative with this. I know there's doctors and surgeons that are being able to operate across the nation, across the country, from California to New York. They're in California and they're making surgeries in New York. Like, AI is here. Why can't we do something with the classroom, make them smart classrooms, make it to a point that we might not need to have more teachers at this point? Because that's what you're telling me. At this point, you're gonna be doing more with less. You guys aren't putting the rest of that money into paying for more teachers. Which, what does that do? Like I said, I'm just rambling at this point. But drop your comment, your like, you subscribe, all that good stuff. Do all that. But then also, I want to hear your thoughts, man. Let me hear your thoughts. Let me know which way you're gonna vote. Let me know which way you're gonna vote. I told you how I'm gonna vote. But definitely take a look at this. I got this on the website, so you can read this yourself. Go on SISD.net. You're going to see proposed Prop A, voter approval tax rate. You're going to see that. You're going to see a video of our superintendent, Mr. Superintendent Vasquez. And then from there, you got a lot of information here. And then from there, you also have the information on the voter. And then this is my last part right here, too, man. Because once again, man, It's just a wording, man. I don't know if people just think we're stupid or what. So Texas Proposition 13, there's going to be other things you can vote for as well. Text Prop 13, increase homestead property tax exemption, which is nice. I think everyone's going to vote for that. You know, you could vote for it to go from 100,000 to 140,000 off of your property evaluation, right? So if your property's 200 grand, you can get a homestead exemption of 140. So now your house is really worth 60. You're getting taxed 60,000, right? That's nice. That is definitely nice, and I think we're all going to vote for that. Texas Proposition 11, increase homestead tax exemption for the elderly and disabled amendment from 10,000 to 60,000. In addition to the 140. Oh my God, I didn't even know it was in addition to. That's even better. So 60, 70, 80, 91. That's 200,000, bro. Don't judge me, man. I'm tired. That's 200,000, bro. That's 200,000. So that's, you damn near won't have any property taxes at all if you're 60 and older. So that's nice to know too. You know, and I'm going to vote for that as well. You know, I'm in support of that. You know, elderly's on a fixed income. Now it says, if approved, the estimated impact for a home valued at 243, the average taxable value for 2025 would be a decrease of minus 345 annually, compared to the average taxable value certified from the appraisal district, combined with the current $100,000 exemption. These measures would lower school property taxes for qualifying homeowners. Together, through Proposition 13 and 11, eligible individuals could receive a total school tax exemption for up to $200,000, combining the 140 exemption and the $60,000 for those 65 or older, 100% disabled veterans. The existing school district tax cap for seniors remains in place, ensuring that school district taxes on a qualifying home will not increase unless significant home improvements are made. Depending on tax rates, property value changes, and exemptions, some property owners may see a decrease to zero. You know, and like I said, if your house is 200,000 or less, you good. But if it's more, which that's what mine's fall into, you're gonna have a problem. So, community meetings. These are community meetings coming up. So October 14th. That one just passed. October 20th. Oh, that one just passed. Oh, all of them passed. My bad. All of them passed. So, yeah, they were all passed. So go out and vote, man. Go out and vote. Have your votes heard. But this is what it is, bro. This is literally what it is. This is what you're voting on. Your tax rate before the rate. This is what it's going to be before. This is what it's supposed to stay after. These are the two buckets I was telling you about, the M&O, right? Maintenance and operation. And then this is the INS. This is the INS was, dang, I just said it. What was INS? INS is interest in something, but it's a debt service, right? So that's all it is. So your total tax rate is 1.05890. These are the two buckets of how they split your money, maintenance and operation, and then, the debt. They're going to raise it 0.12. So this is before, this is going to be after. This will be before, this will be after. My question is, how long does this stay here? How long? Because this is ours. This 0.12 is us in the maintenance and operation. So maintenance and operation will always, you know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, if the state says, you know what, we're not going to honor this anymore, guess what we're paying? You do the math. All right. So, I think this is misleading when it says no increase in total district tax rate. You should have a disclaimer on it, to be honest, bro. Adjusted rate from the debt to operations unlocks millions in additional revenue. I feel like sometimes you got to go through things. I didn't believe in the bailout. I didn't believe in some other stuff because, these people are supposed to be smart. Everyone that are in these positions are supposed to be extremely smart. They should be prepared for these things. They should have systems for these things. And yet somehow, time and time again, we fail. Once again, not blaming the current administration, but it got to this point somehow under somebody's leadership, under somebody's guidance. And I don't like that, man, because no one's bailing me out. No one's bailing you out. No one's bailing your parents out. It's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me. That's just my point, man. I'm a frustrated person. Frustrated. So let me know what you think. Talk to y'all later. Peace.